Hello my fellow SSH Packler 5 here, and today I am doing a how-to guide for Steel and Flesh. So I'm going to be covering the basics and some of the core mechanics of Steel and Flesh so you can be the most successful that you could be in this game. So to start off, we're going to be going over the tabs. So as we're going to be going into the player one. Here you could check on your level. It's very important to develop your attributes, because the better that you have these, the easier that your campaign's going to be. I highly recommend getting your health and whatever weapon main that you are starting off with, get that leveled up. As you can see, I got my health up to 72, and I got my two-hand sword to 35. From there, I'm also going to be putting my experience points into abilities that will make it easier for me to build up an army. So that is going to be leadership, to be able to have more troops deployed on the battlefield. On top of that, it's going to be important for you to be able to have decent looting, I believe. I feel like looting is very important because beginning game, if you are able to buy and sell, to be able to have more funds for your armies, that is going to be very beneficial for you in the campaign. So that's basically what my 2 cents is. A lot of these abilities, they go hand in hand with each other. Like Tactician allows you to have more men on the battlefield compared to your opponent. Scouting allows you to move better on the map. Surgery and bandaging wounds is important for after battles, for how many men or casualties you have. There will be less of them, or it will be easier for them to recover afterwards as well. You are able to collect basically veterans through checking different towns. If you go into like the tavern, there will be a specific person to go to that will tell you the whereabouts of these veterans, and they all have specific attributes that are important to building a good, I would say, council or role at the beginning of your campaign. To start off, there's 2 routes that you could take right off the bat. You could go right into going for an oath and then joining a pre-existing army that is on here. All the ones are going to be on the side left right there. Rust is always really good at the beginning. The Dynasty is really good. English, French. Well, French for me always gets taken out really fast, but sometimes people, they stay around. But yeah, definitely go for those bigger nations that are going to give you more opportunities to complete tasks. They're going to be very important. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting I have people. But yeah, it's going to be very important for you to be able to have a source of income, if you're going the military route through an oath. From there, if you're going straight into your own nation, alright, I recommend building industries. And if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you real quick. So we're going to go into, you can go into any town. You're not affiliated with anybody, so nobody's trying to attack you or anything like that. What you're going to do is you're going to go into markets, alright, and diversity. Diversity, you'll be able to collect resources that you're going to need to be able to establish your industry. You're going to be able to collect the animals that you're going to need for your industry. And in others, you have the equipment to be able to make said industry. To be able to know where to make an industry, we're just going to go back real quick. We're going to go into... Yeah, we're going to go into market. We're going to go into... Sorry, it's been a while since I touched Steel and Flesh. Actually, wait. It might be because of the... Oh, this is a port. Bad example. I don't think I'm at war with them. I don't think I am. Let's find out. States of war. In states, you'll be able to see your relationship between you and other people, which I am not at war with them, so I should be good. I don't think anyways. We'll find out. Oh, I am. Okay, cool. You know, I'm just gonna go to... We're gonna go here. We're gonna go to one of the ports that people like to invade for some reason. It's not gonna take too long. But yes, this is where Scout comes in handy. Around 35 and up is really good for getting around the map. Especially works out if you have a larger army size. This will help you evade after a loss or be able to basically get away. Which is very important. Very important. So the last thing you need is being harassed by enemy nation. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into town. From there, we're going to do create production. In create production, these slots are all going to be empty to begin with. But from there, you can see there's the 3 different industries that you can do. From those industries, it will tell you exactly which materials, animals that you would need to start said industry. It's going to be very important to make sure that you get everything that you need before you start said industry. If you don't, you're just going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Okay. But once you do have everything, it will all be green check marks. Make sure that you get as many recruits as you can, as much animals that you can put into it, and you have the dealer. The dealer will automatically sell the products that you have in the inventory of said industry for you to be able to make some quick change. The cow industry is the most profitable, and then pig, and then chicken. You can make between 20k, 18 and 22k from one cow industry. So if you get a bunch of those within a 2-week span within the game's time, you will have around 100k easy. I do not recommend just going straight for castles and ports and villages to get your income, because if you're especially if you're playing on harder game modes, the upkeep of said places plus having a garrison really takes away from your cost. So I would really focus on your economy type stuff beforehand. If you don't want to go that route, the best option I could have for you, make sure your normal stats are up, your life, your weapon that you're using is up, which would be right here. I'll show again. Make sure those are up, and then from there, make sure you have looting up. Because before, you used to get pretty good loot from just killing bandits, but if you do not have this up, you will get nothing. Pretty much nothing from whoever you attack. Before, when I used to make these guide videos, or even just playing normally, I would always say, if you want to make quick cash real quick, attack bandits. Have some really high-level soldiers in your arsenal, in your squad. Because if you're able to take out some, like, mountain bandits are going to be the most profitable because they have higher level equipment. You could go to any town. You can't go to a village, sadly, but any town, any city. You could even sell at port cities. You used to not be able to do that way back when in 1.0, but you're able to do that now. So, to start out, I usually just get myself a few volunteers, let them level up normally, or I go into the tavern. It is going to be cheaper for you to get volunteers because they're only around 5 gold. If you go to tavern route, they're going to be even more, 50 gold right there. But I usually try to make sure at the start, when my level is higher and I'm able to have better troops, I usually try to have experts or even like normal elites in my squad. You won't be able to get normal elites right off the bat, but experts and trained soldiers are a good replacement of that. So, general consensus, I'm not going to try to repronounce that word, but anything that involves a bow or ranged weapon in this game, will give you an advantage against the AI. The AI is very against the player, so usually their odds of winning is higher than yours, unfortunately. But as long as you have that range and that ability, it is not too bad. Okay, so that's basically some of the basics from starting out. I think that's all I'm going to do to that regards, because the rest is kind of give and take. I usually try to, after I always go after weaker places. So the rebels are always somebody that everybody hates. I will take advantage of people attacking rebel places and take their villages, take their towns, and it's usually not too bad. You want to space out your attacking when you start taking over your own territory. Some people, they just go one castle after the next castle after the next. I noticed that the AI is less likely to get mad at you, less likely to declare war on you if you space out your attacks, which a full week in this game, is probably around 5 minutes. It's not too bad. It really isn't. So I would just wait the 5 minutes and then attack again. Or if you're somebody that really needs to keep attacking to build up your stuff, wait around 2 to 3 days in game. There is a timer at the top. It is in military time, but once that goes from 0 to 24 at least 2 to 3 times, you're perfectly good to attack again. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So to be able to check what inventory you have. So you have invent at the bottom of your screen towards the middle, right next to player. You'll have where you have things. This is where the equipment from you taking over other armies will be. Your inventory of what you have there is going to be there. All you do is click on it, and then you pick the side arrow to switch it from whatever main that you have. It automatically selects it, which is really nice. Preserves your food supply. This is very important in the newest update. All right, especially if you're playing on hard mode. It's not as bad as normal, but it's still up there because I feel like there's a little bit of bug on it. You're able to get this stuff easily. You can either hunt, which all you do to do that is click on squad, and then you click camp, and then from there you have options where you're able to read book, blacksmith, fishing, and hunting. These are alternatives, especially when you're starting out, for making money. It does take some time. It's a skill that you have to level up through battle. I feel like is the best way to level it up if you want to start doing these professions. So I say if you want to have this as your main source of income, blacksmithing is the most profitable, depending on whatever you have. So we're just going to click on here. You're able to craft any weapon that you have in here. And you just get materials from in markets to be able to make them. The better your blacksmithing is, the faster this progress bar will be. It's the same thing for hunting, same thing for fishing. The one thing that is very cool about the new update, if you're taking the hunting or the fishing route, all right, it will tell you the population of whatever game you're going for. So the higher that green bar is, which would be towards the middle of your screen, the more likely you're going to get what you're hunting for. And yeah, some of these you do have to go in the market. You automatically get a couple of them, but I believe there's a durability on them. So to be able to find these, if they break, like an anvil or a fishing rod, we're just going to go into the market real quick. We're going to go in diversity. It will be in others. See, like the fishing rod's right there. And you might have to scaver around a couple places. I believe an advisor could help you where to find this stuff as well. I'm not 100% sure because I don't use the advisor. It's not always 100% right, but he does help out when you need it. And resources where you can get the materials to craft the different blacksmithing weapons as well. I recommend, bare minimum, if you're going to start sieging castles, bare minimum. You're going to want at least one battering ram and at least one siege tower, minimum. It would be nice to have at least 2 catapults as well, but it does get costly after a while. But that is what I recommend if you're going to start attacking settlements. In the squad, you're able to see who is all there. This is what's in my castle. The 3 arrows will take all of them over. The 2 arrows will take every single one of that type of unit that you have highlighted. So, for example, I'm going to click on the 2 arrows there, and 2 of the elite swordsmen are going to go over right there. And for the 1, it'll do 1 at a time. For the 1 arrow, it does 1 at a time. Another interesting way, I don't recommend recruiting this way, but it is another way for you to get troops for cheaper. I would say if you're a little bit more settled on what type of on what type of, on your income, a good way to get some decent troops, if you go into town and stroll in the city, you're able to get elite soldiers for like 350 gold. Which is nice. It varies depending on what their situation is. They'll say like, "Oh, I owe some debts to this person. Blah blah blah. Could you pay this for me to join your squad?" It's definitely a lot cheaper to do it through the town. And the best part is about the town, it is constantly generating. So as long as you're walking around in the circle, it will basically refresh it. It doesn't always work. You might have to go to another town to be able to keep doing it. But, see, boom, 316k. Because I have 1. Because I left my my industries alone from the barns. So I average around 35k. If you keep taking from the supply for like your food stock and whatnot, this number will go down. 100%. And you'll see in a couple days in game that having villages and stuff is not the way to go. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to leave real quick, and I'm going to be going over some, I guess, PvP mechanics. Oops. We're not going to talk about that. Alright, so I'm just going to free-warn you guys. I am not the best at PvP at all. I am horrible. What do I have it set to standard? Mercenaries, play. Alright. I am not the best at this. But I do know a little bit. Alright. Because I used to 1v1 on live streams all the time. So, for most people's phones and whatnot, I should have took off catapults. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. But, actually, you know what? I'm just in the menu real quick. I'm going to redo that. But, there is around a half second to a second between each motion, I would say, when you are PvPing. Let me take off these catapults. No catapults. So, it does give you time to react. Some players are very skilled at the game, or they will use hacks. I have seen it myself, people hacking on Steel and Flesh Online for them to have basically infinite movement. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. You'll just have to pick and choose whether you want to stay in those types of lobbies or not. But a lot of people main the shield and the short sword. I usually use the long sword, but I don't know why I picked this person, but it's fine. My biggest tip I could give, I would say block before you hit. See what your opponent is going to do before you make your move. So we're going to go into... No. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I have my shield up. before you get a good attack, we have this shield up. We got some bots, but it's okay. So we're gonna put it down and then slice. We got a nice good. They're kind of just going at each other right now, backing up. This is very similar to how people play. Not 100% like this, but it is kind of similar. Everything is directional. There's only 3 main areas that people will attack from. There's up, left side, and right side. A lot of it is very instinctual. If you're able to tell how a player plays, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to come up with a strategy. There's quite a bit of players that I've gone against or even seen in clan battles that will do what is called side spamming, which that's just when they hold down one side and just constantly have it go. As you see, there is a little bit of a delay, especially if you're running. And for some people, there is no delay when they do that. So the best thing I could say is have your shield towards the direction that they are swinging, and then undo it and try to get a slice off in the opposite direction that they're swinging. The hitbox is very... I would say it is a bigger hitbox. I think it's really important if you are PvP somebody. If you're slicing or doing a little jab, aim closer to the head. When you aim for the head, it is a higher critical chance. As you see, I just got 67 on that man right there, because I downswinged right into his forehead. Very important. 65 right there. This weapon, if you do a normal body shot, you'll know you don't get a critical. If you get around 25 to 35. I can't give a lot of tips for if you're doing mount play. A lot of PvPing people don't like when you use a mount, or even catapults or ranged weapons such as crossbows or bows. What I could give advice on, if you are in a campaign and you're using a bow or a crossbow or throwing axes, you want to aim slightly higher than where you're trying to hit. So if you're trying to hit a headshot, just a tab or 2 above it is going to be what gets you that headshot damage. Javelins at this point have the highest throwable damage of around 198. You can critical at 300 and something with it. So if you want to go that route, go for it. But as far as that, that's pretty much all I could think of when it comes to multiplayer. Another option, if you don't want to do online play, or if you don't want to do single global mode, customized battles are pretty cool. So I'm just going to set one up, battle size 600. Not everybody's phones could handle that, but we're just going to click on it. You are able to click what nation. We're just going to take all these away. It automatically puts around 1,000 on each side. Pretty interesting. Oop. But you are able to switch between any nations. It'll automatically fill it, unfortunately, but any nations you want. You have them face each other, similar groups, and then you can go for it. You can even give them how many catapults and whatnot that they have. I wish there was a way off the start to be able to just die, but unfortunately, the best thing I could say is if you just want to do start battles, which they do have a first-person mode, which is really cool if you want to go that route. So you can see where you're hitting. Which this was not in the game before. I feel like it would be better for smoother, seeing where your slices are going when you're attacking somebody. But for custom play, if you want to just have it so you watch, what I recommend, go as far as you can and then start the battle. You're also able to do formations. This is something that you're also able to do in custom play. I usually like to put my cavalry on the side so I can set up a flank. I usually have my spears in the front, my bows behind there, and either my swordsman between the bowmen or have it behind the spearman. Range with damage is very important beginning of battle, especially in these land battles. So I definitely say if you want a strategy, go for it. Or you can do what a lot of people do: they just overwhelm armies with elite troops and do Russian tactics. More means better. A lot of people like doing that, but so yeah, let's we should be close enough that we can just insta kill. I usually put myself on a lower guy, and then from there I was nowhere close. I ran out of stamina. Please kill me. I am gonna freak. I'm so sorry that that's keep happening. But once you die, you can go into a free range mode. I usually like to get close cinematic shots, see what they're doing. You can get YouTube clip thumbnails from this. If you want, it's not 100%. I'm hoping at some point they add an up-down arrow, so you just press it and go up. But right now it's just a basic bare bones free range camera. But yeah, you can see people battling it out. So that is pretty much everything I could think of as of now. If you guys want me to go into specifics of what to go over, I know I didn't go over everything in the campaign because there's also the whole thing of you finding the veterans, you finding the books, all of that. There's a specific person that you have to find. He's either called the teller or I forget what he's called, but there's a guy that literally tells you where everybody's at. And when it comes to finding veterans, you just ask around for either that teller to tell you specifically what town the veteran you're looking for is at, or you could use that teller so you can find the bookseller. The guy will tell you specifically where the veterans are at, and I believe there's one other thing, but I can't think of it right now. But that is pretty much everything that I could think of for starting out in Steel and Flesh, along with some of the core mechanics of it and some of tips I could basically give you to be successful in your campaign. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am not editing this clip at all. This is just going to be raw and upload guide. Sorry for the interruptions in between. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you want me to, I'm just going to say it right now. I'm not 100% really into constantly wanting to make Steel and Flesh videos. I'm okay with doing stuff like this every once in a while. Specifically, I'm just letting you know, I don't feel the love from the Steel and Flesh community. I really don't. Compared to my live streams I've been doing, my Steel and Flesh videos ringing around 30 seconds to 2 minutes of watch time. If that were to go to like 7 minutes to 10, I'd make more of them. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'd make more of them. But out of like the 60 some clips I have made, yes, some of them have a lot of views, but I'd rather have 100 views on a live stream with 14 minutes of watch time than 1,000 10-second watch time for a Steel and Flesh video. So now you know the main reason why I haven't really been wanting to make Steel and Flesh videos. It's pretty much the only reason why I'm not going to, because I tried so much to keep going with it. I have hundreds of hours in this game, but after a certain point you do get burnt out on it, and when people keep asking you to play and they ask you why you don't play or why you're not doing any of the stuff you used to, that's pretty much why. And me, after trying to get everybody together on the official clan battle servers, try to get everyone together, but there's a lot of stubborn people in the community on Discord. That's also another reason why I kind of gave up on it, because instead of coming together to do something fun for everybody, people are just going to make it more miserable, and people are going to still cheat and whole 9 yards. But I am looking forward to the online campaign map. I don't know how many months it's going to be. I'm sure in one of the Discords there will be an announcement for it. I'm going to give it around 2 months to 6 before that comes out. Probably more around 2 months. But I really haven't heard anything on it. And it is a one-person team making this happen. So it's going to be very interesting what he's able to pull. Because I know he's not just going to launch the online play. He's going to have more armors, maybe another nation involved. More weapons, more things to do in the normal offline campaign. So yeah, we'll just have to stay tuned. But once again, if you guys are not subscribed, feel free to become part of the pack today, the ice pack, and like and share this video to other people that play Steel and Flesh. I'm hoping it helps. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and hope to see you all in the next one. See ya!